Pokemon Emerald's Battle Frontier is probably the most difficult challenge in any Pokemon game, and to prove it, I decided to take on the biggest and toughest tournament-style challenge at the Battle Dome. What I didn't know was that I would be subjecting myself to levels of RNG hell I never thought were possible. Would I be able to make it to Grand Finals, or would Tilt get the better of me? Let's find out. Dude. Earlier this year, I decided to put myself up to the challenge of beating every facility at the Battle Frontier. But simply beating it wasn't enough. I wanted to get the speedrun world record in every facility. So far, we've been able to successfully achieve world record time for 2 out of 7 facilities. That means for both of these facilities, we've gotten world record for both the gold and the silver symbol speedruns. Each of the facilities has a gimmick about them that makes them really fun, really difficult, or both. The Battle Dome is no exception. The gimmick here is that it's like a tournament, where in order to beat one round, you have to advance through a bracket without taking any losses. You're allowed to bring 3 Pokemon, but you can only fight with 2, which makes these fights extremely fast and extremely prone to losses if you get a bad matchup. And in a speedrun, it's not just enough to beat the opponent. We want to do that in as few turns as possible, which makes it absolutely crucial that we get good matchups and we don't get excessively horrible RNG. 2 things that are pretty out of our control and definitely won't make me tilted. Anyway, the good news is that for each fight, we're given the opponent's trainer card, which will tell us the 3 Pokemon we'll be facing, so we can pick and choose our matchups carefully. We're also given some text that tells us a bit about the trainer's playstyle and EV spreads. The first line will tell us how highly seeded the trainer is, meaning how likely they are to beat other trainers and win the tournament. The second line tells us the kind of moves the opponent's team is expected to have. So if the opponent's Pokemon have more status moves or attacking moves, it'll show up here. And the third line tells us their team's stat spreads. If we get text that says emphasizes attack, that means at least 30% of the EVs on the entire team goes towards attack. But unfortunately, because we're speedrunning this, we don't want to waste time looking at the trainer card unless we absolutely need to. And when we do, we really only want to spend time looking at the opponent's Pokemon. That means we're going in blind for the most part, and we won't know what our opponent's team is going to look like except for the last couple fights of the gold symbol run. And getting those fights right is going to be absolutely mission critical if we want world record. See, there's a key idea when it comes to speedrunning something as RNG heavy as Pokemon. As notable runner Amoeba UK once said,
"We don't actually ever really need good luck, we just need to avoid bad luck."
So there are going to be some things that are out of our control that we just can't change, but everything else that we could possibly optimize, we need to get a good handle on. Case in point, the boss fight. Like with most Battle Frontier challenges, all of the opponent's Pokemon will be randomized, with them getting progressively harder as we win more and more tournaments. All randomized except for the boss fights with Frontier Brain Tucker. You will always bring this team to the silver symbol fight and this team to the gold symbol fight. So the goal here is to counter team him hard so we can beat him in the least amount of turns possible. Only problem is that we don't know which Pokemon he's going to lead with and which Pokemon he's not going to bring. Since remember, you only take 2 out of the 3 Mons. We'll have to dig into the game's code to manipulate his RNG, but for now, let's just check out the team we're using for this fight. Here's my team and here's the world record team. Let's start with the world record team, which was created by Exarian but was executed by Affected Ashes. So I think the best way to understand Exarian's team is through examples. Take a look at this first fight of the world record run. Sends out Armaldo, we lead Latios, single letter name L for time save purposes. We surf, super effective, one shot, brings in Heracross, psychic, doesn't even stand a chance. Of course it's gonna OHKO. Crit, which means we lost 2 seconds there, but in an ideal world, that's kind of the entire run for 50 minutes, right? Like just find Pokemon that are weak to Latios, hope that you get matched up against them and sweep. And the reason why Latios is because it's probably the best Pokemon to use in the Battle Frontier. It has broken stats, insane coverage, and its solid typing means it can just sweep most trainers like you just saw here. But we don't live in an ideal world. The trainers at the Battle Dome love to spam their shitty little double team parafusion hacks bullshit all over the place, which means we can't sweep everything with Latios alone, which is where Heracross comes in. So Heracross takes out any bulky normal types like Blissey, Snorlax, or in this case, Miltank, and then afterwards I believe it's Regirock. Yeah, anything that Latios can't take out in one hit. It's a pretty straightforward set. It's got Stab, Mega Horn, Brick Break, and Edgequake. I don't even know if people say Edgequake anymore, in the form of HP Rock and Earthquake. And it has Choice Band to hit like a truck. So pretty straightforward. Didn't get the OHKO on Regirock there because Regirock's just got too much defense, but it's more reliable to OHKO than Latios would be. And finally, here's a fight where Zapdos really shines. So it goes Thunder, I think because we needed it damage-wise, because yeah, Ice Beam is a thing. A combo of Thunder and Thunderbolt is enough to take out Kingdra. And then Quad Weak Gyarados, which after Intimidate, we know what's gonna happen next, right? But Exarian's notes state that this team tends to attract a lot of water and rock type teams. So Zapdos addresses that weakness with a combination of T-Bolt, and the hidden power you saw earlier was HP Grass. Thunder, as you saw, was not just for Kingdra, but also for opposing Zapdos, which can be a problem for this team since Latios doesn't have Ice Beam. All around a pretty solid team, but I think I came up with a team that's even better, and it all comes down to the Frontier Brain boss fights. Currently, World Record beats the Silver Symbol fight by two-shotting Swampert with Psychic, which was a bit risky because Swampert had Ice Beam, which could have frozen or critted an O-code Latios. Swampert using counter here was actually the most time-optimal move, which is sick, but unreliable if I tried the same strat. Next, Latios gets lucky here and crits Surf on Charizard, which would not have O-code otherwise. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, what the f, how am I supposed to compete with that? But then it just gets even more wild when you look at the Gold Symbol fight. So in the Gold Symbol fight, World Record leads Zapdos on the incoming Swampert. Zapdos has Hidden Power Grass, which is a 50-50 roll to OHKO, and if you don't OHKO it, Swampert has Mirror Coat, which will take you out. As for the second Mon, World Record gets Metagross and two-shots it, but they lose time because Metagross uses Protect. So if I wanted my fights to be faster than World Record, I need to get just as lucky and maybe save time if I can get even luckier and have Metagross not use Protect. The problem is that the odds of replicating those fights just seems really tough. So I designed a new team just for this fight so that I could beat it in the least amount of turns possible. But in order to understand the team, we have to understand how Tucker's AI chooses the two Pokemon to take into battle in the first place. Like, why did Tucker bring Swampert and Charizard here instead of Salamence? Was it just good RNG? Well, actually, no. There's a pretty interesting way the AI programs trainers to pick their Pokemon here. The simplest way to explain it is that there's two questions the AI asks when deciding on what to bring. What can the player attack me with, and what can I attack the player with? So for example, if I brought the World Record team and I was fighting Tucker's Silver team, Tucker's AI would see that I'm bringing two Pokemon weak to Ice in Latios and Zapdos, and it would see that Tucker has a Swampert on his team with Ice Beam, and it would award extra points for Swampert. It would also see Swampert's Earthquake doesn't affect Zapdos and is not very effective versus Heracross, so it would take points away from Swampert for that. And whatever Pokemon has the most points after looking at every move on the team will be the one the AI picks. So if you pick the right team, you can always know which two Pokemon Tucker will bring, and you can counter team accordingly. Pretty sick, right? So my idea was design a Pokemon that can always beat Tucker and sweep the rest of the dome with the other two Pokemon. The two Pokemon I felt I could sweep most of the dome with was Latios and Slacking. Latios is the GOAT, so we obviously have to pick it. And not gonna lie, I just picked Slacking because he did such a good job on the Battle Palace speedrun I did a while back that I felt like it would be disrespectful not to include him. Technically he's time loss if I led with him because Truant's a thing, but I figured it would be worth it to be able to OHKO more stuff than Heracross. And in the third slot, Gengar. Gengar is the one that I realized had the best potential to take out Tucker in the least amount of turns possible, if it has this very finely tuned setup. Hidden Power Grass, Ice Punch, Fire Punch, Destiny Bond, holding Quick Claw, with a Rash Nature, 180 defense EVs, 248 special attack, and 76 speed. For this set to work, we need as little special defense and as high defense as possible, while not sacrificing too much speed, which is why our EV spread looks so weird. Quick Claw is, well, I'll get to that later. All you need to know is that on run 25, I would finally be able to pull off the strat, and it was fucking sick too, because getting to that fateful attempt was absolutely soul-crushing. Well, except for the silver run, that wasn't too bad. In fact, it went so well that I was way too cocky going into the Gold Symbol run. On my very first run, I was making pretty good time, I was feeling myself, and then this happens. What? Thank you. Are you fucking kidding me? Did I just lose the run? Are you kidding me? Okay, Latios, I need you to unfreeze right the f now. Bro. Oh my god, dude. Oh, and it only got worse. Like, on my 9th attempt, half an hour into the run, I get trolled by this Umbreon. Oh, fuck. Alright, let's go Slacking. Just do it. No! No, 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 no. That, what a stupid set. Get over it, dude. No! No, 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 no. I should have just switched out. Thank you. What? Thank you. Oh, that was so stupid. Okay, that was a bad RNG fight. And then almost 40 minutes into the run, this happens. No freeze, please. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. No! And then 6 minutes later, this happens. Like, no freeze. No! Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Oh my god. Why? Why is it always freezes? By the way, if you're wondering how a Lapras outsped a Slacking, it's Quick Claw. I got fucking Quick Clawed into Ice Beam Freeze. And here's the kicker. I'm able to somehow fight my way back on pace with a bunch of really good fights, only for this to happen. No! Oh, now I don't fucking Oko. Oh, now I definitely don't fucking Oko. Are you kidding me? Don't tell me I lost a run like this, dude. No, dude. I fucking lost. Unless you crit right now. I lost to a fucking Hyper Beam miss. Oh my god. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? 3 Hyper Beam misses in a fucking row? A triple goddamn Hyper Beam miss, which cost me so much time, it just killed my run. So, like anyone would be in this situation, I was tilted. And also like anyone who would be in this situation, I was too tilted to realize how tilted I was, and I ran 15 more unsuccessful attempts, each more tilting than the last. Like this, for example. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You gotta be kidding me. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking for real right now? I just fucking lost the run because of a fucking focus band. Holy fuck. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna fucking lose it. Focus band. Focus band. Double focus band. Double fucking focus band. Holy fuck. I fucking lost to a double fucking focus. So at this point, I had been doing nothing but this run for 5 hours straight with very little breaks in between. So I decided to call it a night. I came back the next day and I thought maybe my luck would turn around. I was wrong. Definitely wrong. I got absolutely cheddared. This Crobat is a demon because it's one of the few things that outspeeds our whole team. And its moveset is just super toxic, man. I mean, look at this. Oh my god, don't do it. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my fucking god. Why did I do that? I fucking killed my run, didn't I? Oh my god. So it smoked me single-handedly, and I was at my absolute lowest point. At this point, the tilt was just becoming overwhelming, and I was ready to just quit the Battle Dome altogether. And let me tell you why, right? It wasn't that the RNG was dumb, it was that the dumb RNG didn't start happening until about halfway through the run. Because leading up to the Silver Symbol fight, it's all a bunch of easy, not fully evolved Pokemon. So I have to essentially just sit there mashing A for 30 minutes before I eventually get dog-walked by some dumb RNG, and I have to push my Sisyphus boulder back up the mountain again. So I really was on the edge at this point. But then I remembered how goddamn cool this Gengar strat would be if I could just get it to the fight. And I decided I would do one more run for the day. We start off with a solid gold split right off the bat. Again, in the early rounds, we're facing off against a bunch of weak Pokemon like Corphish and Cubone. In fact, they're so weak, I use neutrally effective moves against them like Psychic instead of things like Surf or Thunderbolt, so that we could save time by not having the game display the super effective text. Another couple rounds go by, and I'm able to get some crucial damage rolls, and I gold split again. 20 minutes in, and I'm up on world record by a full minute. I'm feeling pretty good until we run into this trainer. I choke here and pick Slacking as the lead when I should have picked Gengar because it has Hidden Power Grass and I would have been able to one-shot Swampert if it came out. My opponent sends out Lapras, and I start getting PTSD from the last time we were in this situation, and I'm just praying we don't get Quick Clawed. Fortunately, we're able to one-shot it, and Swampert comes out next, which gives you war flashbacks from the last time we triple missed Hyper Beam. We have to kill a turn to loaf around, and Swampert starts setting up curses. In my head, I'm already expecting things to go south because shit's playing out exactly like last time. But thankfully, Slacking is able to land a Hyper Beam, which is just enough to Oko Swampert, even at +1 defense. And just like that, we've made it to the Silver Tucker fight while still holding on to our minute of time save on world record, which means I can finally explain the strat behind Gengar here. So with the team we're bringing, Tucker will always bring Swampert because the AI will see Swampert's Ice Beam hitting Latios super effectively, Counter hitting Slacking super effectively, and Earthquake hitting Gengar super effectively because the AI doesn't take abilities into account. It'll also always bring Salamence because it has Brick Break for Slacking, Earthquake for Gengar, and Dragon Claw for Latios. It's fucking beautiful. We've reverse engineered Tucker's AI into giving us something predictable every time, and we can always win this fight in 2 turns. By the way, if you're wondering, Gengar's EVs, nature, and item won't come into play just yet. It'll come through in the final fight. Anyways, so on this fight, I lead Gengar, Hidden Power Grass to Swampert, and pray that its Focus Band doesn't activate because that would be time loss. Fortunately, our bad luck seems to be behind us, and we take it out, and Salamence comes afterward, which means it gets to hold this Ice Punch, and we come out of that fight with a 30-second lead on world record. And now we just need to hold that lead for 20 more fights. Easy, right? Well, I don't know what I did to appease the RNG gods, but things really start looking up for us. We get some solid matchups, Ooh. Oh my god, I eat these dragon tamers for lunch, bro. Holy shit. Yeah, Altaria and then Steelix is my guess. Dude, just clean. Just clean. So clean. Clutch crits. Because we 2-hit KO anyway. And we don't even get cheesed. Things really seem like they're starting to look up for us. And then we run into this fight. Why? This guy has Charizard, Salamence, and the run killer Crobat. I can't really do anything at this point, but pray that we don't see the Demon Bat. Please bring Charizard and Salamence over Crobat. You should be favored too, I'm pretty sure. So the bat comes out and turn 1 Confuse Raise us. I'm trying to stay positive though, like maybe we can still... Are you fucking kidding me? And if you're wondering, yes, that crit absolutely mattered. And because World Record had an insanely good run around this time, we're actually only about 16 seconds ahead now. So that crit was absolutely the worst thing that could have happened to us, because now I have to send in Slacking and pray we hit a Hyper Beam. By some miracle we do though, and Charizard comes out. I didn't know it at the time, but it had about a 20% chance to OHKO me here if it used Fire Blast instead of Scary Face, and also had Focus Band, which if it activated on that Hyper Beam, straight up, I would have jumped out of my apartment window. But thankfully, we make it through by the skin of our teeth. Yeah, the bait and switch RNG truly. Crit. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Don't you dare, don't you dare, don't you dare. Okay. We have a few more nail-biting exchanges, but it seems like now luck has finally turned on our side. Give me a crit, 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 give me a crit. Para? Hacks? And with that, we're finally able to make it to the Tucker Gold fight. So it's during this Gold fight that we finally can unleash the true power of this Gengar set, okay? With the team composition that we have, Tucker will always pick Swampert in the first slot and then Metagross in the second slot. But unlike the Silver fight, Swampert has max HP, which means we only have a 62% chance to OHKO it, which is slightly better odds than the 50-50 OHKO in the World Record team. But unlike the World Record, Swampert will almost guaranteed go for Mirror Coat if it lives, because Trainer AI is dumb and we'll see that Mirror Coat is a Psychic type move and it'll think it's super effective against Gengar, even though it really isn't. But if we don't get the OHKO, the run is dead. Assuming we do get the OHKO, which again is 62%, Metagross will come out next, and like I mentioned before, it has this Quick Claw that we have to pray that it doesn't activate, or at the very least, if it does activate, we have to pray that our Gengar's Quick Claw activates as well. And now here's where the Gengar juice comes in. I've given it just enough defense EVs that it'll always live a Meteor Mash, and then we give it a minus special defense nature and 0 investment. By doing that, we've given it the least amount of special defense possible, meaning Metagross's Psychic, despite it having 0 special attack investment, as you can see here, will always OHKO Gengar. So the Trainer AI will almost always go for Psychic, which means if I use Destiny Bond on the Metagross, we'll take it out every time, assuming Metagross doesn't go for Protect, which would just be time loss. It has the potential to work and has the potential to be a 2-turn fight really quick, right? But there's a lot of things that could still go wrong for us. And that fateful fight, that fight that I have been waiting for, it happened. Okay, perfect. Let's fucking go, dude. And with that, the Battle Dome speedrun world record is officially ours. We still have 4 more facilities to go on our Battle Frontier journey, but that's a topic best saved for another day.